Police officers coming forward to NewsNation who say they worked at Ground Zero during 9/11 and its aftermath, now sickened and forced into a situation where they say they're trying to prove they were even there. Tonight in a NewsNation exclusive, you will meet one of those officers, Detective Sara Salerno, who is now battling cancer. And as she endures rounds of radiation and chemotherapy, she is submitting photos she says she took as she worked at Ground Zero. You're looking at them now, as well as the corroborating accounts of multiple witnesses who saw her, only to be denied her police disability retirement pension. The NYPD Pension Fund Board of Trustees telling her there isn't enough evidence of her service in those critical days. This is her story. I understand that you're coming straight to us from chemotherapy, and I'm so sorry to hear about your cancer. Can you share with us how you're doing and what your prognosis is?
I have triple negative breast cancer, and it affected my lymph nodes. They're worried about it spreading. I'm one that doesn't complain, so I really don't tell people how really I'm doing. I'm okay. It's sad also, that 23 years later, and we still have all these problems, and it's sad. And I am angry, but I'm also saddened for other people too. So it's not just me that is going.
I know it. And as you say, 23 years later, can you take me back to 9/11? What was your experience at Ground Zero? What do you remember?
I remember walking around and the smell. I can explain it. The smell that was in the air, and we were all going, "That's death." And you'd see the fires that were still hovering in certain spots. And like I'm getting my goose pimples just thinking about it. And I mean, it was just surreal, and it looked fake, but it wasn't fake. And then everybody just coming together. I'm just getting flashbacks of the scene and debris still falling. And I just remember seeing things. And then I took pictures. It just reminds me of people being so nice to us and caring, but I don't think that's around anymore. Everybody seems to forget. I know we had the anniversary the other day, but we're back to normal again, and that's what hurts. I'm sorry.
Did you ever think you would be in a situation having to prove that you were there at Ground Zero?
No, I've been doing this for 14 years, proving my existence. I had to mortgage my house twice. It's expensive. That's expensive, and cancer is very expensive.
Can I ask, I know that you took photos that day. What proof have you handed over to them?
Well, my participation, when you're down there, they had to take your tax number and write down that you were there. I have letters from bosses. I have people that worked with me. I submitted my pictures. They said it wasn't good enough.
And I want to point out that there are other officers who say they're being denied. And, one officer, Kim DiMartini, telling NewsNation she's disabled with PTSD. But despite submitting photos and negatives of her at Ground Zero, even the helmet that she wore that President Clinton signed, she is in a similar boat now. How does it feel having the NYPD doubt that you were working at Ground Zero?
I guess they don't care about us anymore. Once you're retired, that's it. I mean, I just got chills also thinking that she has even more proof. I mean, what is it that's going to take? Like, are they singling out certain people? It's very frustrating. And I feel for her. We're in the same boat. And I'm not going to give up. I hope she doesn't give up either, because I'm determined to get this to the end. Even if it takes me 20 years, I'm still going to try to do it. Hopefully I'm still here for that. And if anything, my family will still fight for me.
You hand over all of these photos, you hand over the attestations from your boss saying that you were there that day, etc., all of this proof, and they tell you what?
I still don't have enough verification to say that I was there. Whatever I submitted was not good enough. It says that I was not good enough. The roll calls are gone.
Yeah, and explain that to me. They're saying that their own records, the roll call of that day, have disappeared, have been destroyed?
Yes, not just from internal affairs, from other precincts. They have disappeared. The documents that show where people were have disappeared. Yes.
And explain the situation to me now. What are the benefits being denied to you, hinging on whether or not you can prove your service at Ground Zero? What kind of difference would those benefits make?
Well, I mean, it's my pension. Originally, you're allowed to leave your benefits to a family member. I can't even do that. I want them to be able to pay my mortgage. I don't want to leave them with that. I don't want to leave them with my burdens right now. I'm always afraid. I'm sorry, just not being able to be there, it's just frustrating. I mean, I'm sorry. I think I'm a loss for words right now. This whole thing is just debilitating. The whole process, everything. It's just.
And I hear you worrying about leaving your family behind.
I have 2 kids. I mean, they don't know how I feel. I don't disclose how I feel. I'm sorry. I don't disclose how I feel with them because I don't know what's going to happen. And, I wanted them to be okay. Now I don't know, what's going to happen. I don't know. I mean, that's why I just keep fighting and hoping that somebody will change their mind. But like I said, I don't know what is it it's going to take, what proof that we have to submit. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot. And I guess I don't complain a lot. I mean, this is the first time I'm actually crying in a long time, but it's sad. It's sad that it's gone to this, that they don't care. I mean, we're not talking about millions, we're just talking about a measly little pension. And it's sad. It's sad that we all have to do this. I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. Don't be sorry. I appreciate you sharing all of this with us today. And I know that this started with vocal cord problems and that now you are dealing with cancer. What do you want Americans to know about your situation?
I'm not the only one that's sick, 23 years later, and people are, developing cancers. I've had friends that were on the job that passed away. We were there. We did a service. If we could do it again, there are so many cops that would just drop everything and do it all over again. And I would do it in a heartbeat again, because that's what we swore to do, to protect and uphold, and I don't understand why. I don't know what it's going to take for them to wake up and see that, we were there and the proof is there. But why are they denying us? Why? Why us? Why me? Why the other cops? Why? Why? What is the reason? And we don't have any reason behind it. We don't.
All right. Detective Sara Salerno, thank you for the work that you have done. And thank you so much for your time and shedding some light on this tonight.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me again. Thank you.
We reached out to the NYPD and the head of the medical division for the NYPD Police Pension Fund Board of Trustees. We have not yet heard back. We will keep spotlighting these officers' stories. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.